What's going on, everybody? This is Tristan Pope from alttab.me, also tristanpope.com, coming to you with an episode of Does It Just Work? Sounds like tea time. Does it just work? Tea time with Tristan. Anyway, today I'm bringing you a first look impression of a very cool LED light. The Rotolight Neo 2. All right, now, I was a little skeptical about this guy. I was a little skeptical because I have some LED flashes that are like $40, $30, whatever. And this is a little bit more expensive. That being said, though, after using it, there's something just magical about it. In terms of the way that it works, in terms of the way that it pairs with your camera, having the ability to get one stop extra of light by strobing it, but still getting that LED constant lighting, because with the Sony A7R III, constant lighting is super helpful with any shoot that you're doing because of the electronic viewfinder and being able to see what you're gonna get before you shoot. So usually with strobes, you're in a low light situation, it's very dark, and so the eyes will dilate and try to get more light in. So when you take your shot with the strobe, the pupil doesn't have time to shrink, and therefore you get less of the color of the eye and more of the dark center. So for me, LED lighting for beauty shots, glamour, stuff like that is a must, because it definitely helps to really just accentuate someone's eyes, the color, and just makes it an overall better photo. With all that being said, it's still one of the softest lights that I've seen on an LED. When I'm talking about soft, I mean on the face, on the way that it reflects. It's not harsh. It is wonderful for beauty shots. So there it is. Woo! Yeah, look at that. So you can change the Kelvin, so we're nice in daylight, and then we can go warmer. I don't know if you can see it changing on there. And you can do power, so you can get it really bright. It's got a lot of power, but the power is well distributed, leaves nice catch light in the eyes, and so far just works. So I've got it paired with the Elinchron transmitter, and this will do high sync flash. So when you're shooting this thing, it just, first of all, let me take a step back. So first you just hold down the little power button and it just connects to your light. It finds it, it knows, because they partnered with Elinchron to have it so that this has a receiver right in the unit itself, which is great. One of my favorite things about it is the fact that you just turn it on, pair it, it recognizes, you're good to go. No futzing around with settings, and then all the settings show up here on your dial, and you literally are just, okay, snap it on your camera and start shooting. So there's no crazy, oh God, what do I do? There's so many menus and it's complicated. I mean, there are some very interesting things with the light that get a little more in depth. So you get like these special effects like lightning and fireplace. Little things like that that kind of add to the value of what you're getting. It's small, but it's light and it's solid and you don't feel like it's gonna break. The only thing that's a little loose for me is this guy here, and this is where you take this plate off and then you can put the gels that come with it right on there. So you've got all these different gels that you can diffuse your light with. Comes with a nice little carrying case here, so easy to travel with. So there's your bag, you just throw your light in there and you are all set. That's it. Boom. It also has these little holders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to put extra batteries because it takes 6 batteries. So easy to travel with, easy to just throw in your bag, forget about it, and just use, because that's important to me. I need stuff that's light, durable, and I can throw it in my bag and I can just go and shoot wherever I need to shoot. I don't need to be worrying about, is it gonna work? Is the battery charged? Does that work? I just know that this thing is working, and that's awesome to me. Paired with this guy, Elinchrom is a really good manufacturer. You've got a really good trigger system here, plus it'll work with anything that Elinchrom works with, so it's not just the Rotolight, so that's awesome too. If you don't need that extra stop and you don't need it to trigger a flash, you don't really need this. You can just use the light in constant mode and you're fine. But having that extra stop is really nice. Not to mention the placebo effect of having a strobe. When you're on a shoot, sometimes having your light flashing, even if not really using that extra stop of light, having your light flash, even if it's an LED, can sometimes put your client's mind at ease a little bit. Because it's not a strobe light and because it's not in a giant soft box, it may not look to them as professional. Like back in the day, we used to carry all these attachments and stuff on our cameras. Small cameras were not a thing. They were just the bigger the better. And that was how you determined who the professional was. So when I say placebo effect, I truly mean it. I mean, by having that thing strobe, you're giving off the illusion. So it can definitely help in those situations. But the practicality of it is very useful as well because it actually works. It gives you that extra stop. If you're outdoors, you need, that extra boost of power, stuff like that. Even indoors, as you can see by some of the shots I've taken. So overall, I have tested it out on a couple shoots. The ones that I'm going to be showing you throughout this video while I'm talking are the ones that I've done most recently. This was kind of the first test of it, and I think the results came out really great. I mean, you can see by the softness of the fall off, and when I needed to be a little harsher, it just stayed very even, and the light was very soft, and it was the perfect amount of power for a very small light while not overwhelming the model, which was great. And it just, I don't know, it just worked. Something about it, something the way it shot, something about the way it worked, and something about the nice, really soft light that it gave off. It sold it for me. It had the flexibility to adjust to any situation I was shooting in, indoor or outdoor. Even in the outdoor shots, it added a nice little catch light in the eye just for that extra bit of, oomph. So would I recommend this light? I would say yes, I would recommend this light. I would say try it out first. It's definitely something that you have to try to understand. With all the LEDs that I use, you would think that, something like this maybe wouldn't be on the list, but after using it, I feel like it's one of those lights that I could trust throwing in my bag and not putting another light in there. And I know that I would get consistent results. The temperature of the light is accurate. The fall off of the light is soft. The power of the light is exemplary. So in terms of use case, it's definitely good, and it's something that you have to kind of experience to understand, because I was very skeptical going into it, I'll be honest, and I was like, ooh, is it worth the price tag? And to be honest, I think it is. I think it's worth the price tag. You can trust the light, which is nice. Some of these lights you can't really trust. You don't know if they're gonna, break on you, so you're bringing two, or you don't know if they're gonna give you good results every time. So you're bringing multiple different ones, and you're bringing gels and everything. And this one, right out of the box, as is, has a lot of power and ability to do what it's supposed to do, which is give you a nice, flattering light on your subject. And it can be used for multiple things. I mean, you can use it for video, you can use it for photography, you can use it for basically anything that you would normally use a strobe for. You're not going to overpower the sun with this, but it's not meant for that. It's meant for that catch light, or that small, you're in a small tight space, or you just want to carry one light with you and you're doing a video, and it doesn't have to be, maybe it's a wedding, because this would give a really nice light for a wedding video. So it's definitely soft, and it's not really imposing. Some of these lights get really big and heavy, and this is just really solid, well built, rechargeable batteries, and it just seems to work, in my opinion. Through the shoot that I just did, and as my first impressions, and I've used it on a couple shoots afterwards, which I'll share with you at a later date, but for this specific first test, I'm really happy with it. I was not expecting to be so pleasantly surprised, and I'm definitely pleasantly surprised. Rotolight kind of knocked it out of the park with this one, and I would definitely say check this baby out, see if it works for what you need, and if it does, awesome. If it doesn't, well, then there's other things to look at. But for me, definitely definitely this is my go-to in the bag light for any run and gun situation, or any, you know, situation where I just need something that I know is very consistent and reliable. So bravo to Rotolight for knocking it out of the park with their Neo 2. I'm really happy with this. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I never know if I cover everything, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I'll be happy to answer them in the comments. Or, you know, if there's enough questions, I'll address them in a future video. But thanks for watching, and yeah, check it out, the Rotolight Neo 2. It's really cool. It's really cool, and it's small. Look at that. It's just tiny. It's like the size of my head. Boom. Look how sexy I look. Ready? Ready? Look at this sexy light. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace.